Howdy there, guys and gals. We are back once again with another fun-filled, action-packed flipped geometry classroom video with the host. That's me, Coach Gu. Today we're doing volumes of prisms, cylinders, pyramids, that's not it, cones, that's not it, and spheres. Oh my goodness, so much fun with 5 different volume formulas, starting with prisms. Let's get straight into it. We're just going to do a bunch of examples showing you how these formulas work, and this is going to be very important because unless you can memorize all these formulas, you're probably going to have to refer to this notes sheets. So let's get to it. Prisms. So the formula for a prism, well actually, what's volume anyways? Does anybody know what volume is? Volume is how much space is inside that 3-dimensional figure. For example, if you have a cup, you got a cup, what's the volume of the cup? That's how much liquid that cup's gonna hold. That's how much space is inside that cup. You know, what's the volume of a tissue box? Is pretty much how many tissues it would hold, I guess, technically. Anyways, that's the idea. So we're trying to find out how much space is inside a 3-dimensional object. So let's start with prisms. The formula for prisms is volume equals BH, where B is the area of the base and H is the height between bases. So let's just look at an example. You see the first one right here, find the volume of the prism. It says we do. Well, look, you can see the base is a rectangle. So if I were to take this rectangle right there, I'm looking for the area of that rectangle. All I have to do is 9 times 17, because it's length times width. 9 times 17. And then that's going to be the area, right? And then I multiply it by the height, which is over here, 24. So I would just multiply that by 24. And that would equal my volume. And if you put that in La Calculadora, you would get 3,672. And here's a new one, guys. What do you think the units are for volumes? Centimeters cubed? Nope. Because check this out, we're multiplying centimeters times centimeters to get the area. That's already centimeters squared. Then we're multiplying the height, which is centimeters again. It's centimeters cubed. The little 3. Oh my goodness. New unit. Make sure you remember that. For volume, it's cubed. All right, let's take a look at this next one down here, the triangular prism. Not sure why it says millimeters on 2 of the units and 16 inches on 1. Let's just assume it's completely in inches. So what's the area of the base? Well, the base here is my triangle right here. So how do I find the area of a triangle? It's going to be base times height divided by 2. So I would go base, which is 11, times height, which is 5.4, divided by 2. That's the area of a triangle, remember? Now I'm going to multiply by the height between the bases of the 2 shapes for volume, which is the 16 over here. So multiply by 16. Put this in the calculator, and you're going to get 475.2. And what are my units? Inches cubed. Oh my goodness. So you guys try the you do on the right side. Next up, cylinders. The volume of a cylinder. Let's take a look at the formula. It's pi r squared times the height. So let's just go ahead and do an example. Volume equals pi r squared times the height. What's r right here? We can see the total diameter is 11. Remember the radius, which is r, is half of that. So that'd be 5.5. So my r is going to be 5.5. Don't forget the squared. What's my height? You can see that right here. It's the 21. And then we got pi out in front. So just put that straight in the calculator and you're going to get about 1995.7. What are my units here? Meters cubed. Also, if you left it in terms of pi, then it would just be about 635.3 pi meters cubed. So that will be my answer for this cylinder. Now you try the you do using the formula. Next up, lay pyramid. What is the formula right here? It's 1/3 of the area of the base times the height, which is from the apex to the center of the base. Apex to the center of the base means, check out our picture up here, is from the very peak straight down, bam, hits at a 90-degree angle in the very center of the base. So sometimes you gotta find the apex. So look at this example. I'm gonna do the we do right here. Do I have the apex here? No, because remember the apex is supposed to go from up here, the very top, down to the center of my shape, and it's gonna be a right angle right there. So if I wanted to find this though, check, how can I find this? Look at this. The slant right here is 25, right? And then this length right here, the whole length is 14, so that means just this half right here would be 7, because it's this length, 7. So I can use the Pythagorean theorem to find my apex, which is this side that I've marked in red right here. That's the apex. So I would go a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A would be, 7, so 7 squared plus b squared. I don't know what that is. I'm trying to find that. Equals c squared. C is 25, so 25 squared. So that's going to be 49 plus b squared equals 625. Subtract 49 from both sides. B squared equals, I'm going to have to plug this one in the calculator. 625 minus 49, boom, 576. And then the square root of 576, because we want to get b by itself, b equals 24, which means my apex has a length of 24 feet. So now I have enough to find the answer. So remember, the volume equals the area of the base. The base is a square here, so it's going to be 14 times 14. So 14 times 14. And let me highlight it for you. Look, 14, that's the length, and then 14, that's the width. And then we're going to multiply that by the apex, which we found is 24. And then we're going to multiply all that by 1/3. And if you put that into the calculator, you're going to get 1568 feet. Oh, just kidding. Actually, it's feet, just kidding. Feet cubed. And that is the answer. So you try the you do. Moving to cones, what's the formula here? Volume equals 1/3 times pi times r squared times the height of the whole figure. So let's take a look. How would we use this? Volume equals 1/3 pi r squared times the height. Where's the radius on my picture right here? It's the 9 right there. We're going to replace the r with a 9, so that's 9 squared. And where's the height? It's the apex, remember? So in this one, it's already drawn for us from the top. Boom, straight there. That's 17. So we're multiplying that by 17. Now, let me put parentheses around this to make it clear. And then we're going to put pi, and then we're going to put 1/3 out in front. So you got to multiply all these numbers together. So it's going to be, if you leave it in terms of pi, it's going to be about 459 pi, and the units would be yards cubed. But if you type 459 pi and press enter into the calculator, you're going to get about 1442.0 yards cubed. So you guys use the formula and try the you do. And last but not least, we've got the sphere, the most perfect shape ever, the sphere. The formula here is volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed. So let's take a look at how we're going to use this. This volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed. What's r? Take a look. It's right there, 7, bam. So that means we're going to go 4/3 pi 7 cubed. 7 cubed is, let's see, 7 cubed is 343. So 4/3 pi times 343. And if you leave it in terms of pi, it's going to be about 457.3 pi. What are the units? Inches cubed. Or if you type in 457.3 pi in the calculator, press enter, you're going to get 1436.8 inches cubed. All right. So now you try the you do on the right side. And that is going to conclude our notes over volume. Just a bunch of formulas, but until next time.
Ravioli, ravioli, give me the formuoli.